What is up, guys? It's your boy Runner Cactus, and today we're going to be showcasing how to get high tier loot within Marathon shockingly fast and easy. Seriously, this is the method my team's been using to load in with a sponsored kit and come out juiced to the gills. I'm talking often multiple purple items for not much effort. And so, let's get started. Alright, so this method is going to take place on the new map added to Marathon the second day after release, and that is Outpost. The way Outpost is designed, it's a smaller map, there's more indoor areas, and there's less teams on it than Perimeter or Dire Marsh. So it's much easier if you know what you're doing, if you know the secrets of this map and where to go specifically to get in, get high tier loot, and get out without having to fight your way through a bunch of teams, which is what you want, again, if you're loading in with low tier loot or even a sponsor kit. So let's talk about the secrets of Outpost. There's a main mechanic that's going to govern a lot of what you do. So, after loading in on Outpost, if you explore around just a little bit, you'll likely find these keycards. They have different names, but they're also color-coded. You might find green ones, yellow ones, or orange ones. Now, you can find them literally in a toilet sometimes. I'm not joking, my teammate found one in a toilet. Or you can find them on desks, you can sometimes find them in these containers right here, and you can also find them on rooftops right here. There'll be a little bit of an antenna which connects to, again, one of those containers. So, you are going to use these keycards to activate events, open locked doors, and importantly, gain access to the huge ship in the top center of this map that is filled with loot. There's actually another sneakier way that doesn't require keycards that we'll talk about in a sec. But what you're going to be looking for with these keycards are these particular objects. You can see they have different colors sticking out. These are the specific color-coded keycards you actually need to activate them. So sometimes you need 2 greens, sometimes you need 3, a yellow and 2 oranges. So as you're collecting these keycards, you want to be, picking up as many as you can. So if you do find these things, you can gain access to the armory, special rooms, etc. And again, there are going to be these things up on that main pinwheel ship. Specifically, speaking of the pinwheel, to use the keycards to gain access to this specific ship in the center of the map, what you're going to need to do is find one of these objects right here that says Unlock Pinwheel Access Terminal. So you can see here we're in flight control, and you head from flight control towards the center of the map, towards Pinwheel, and there's another access point on the opposite side of that. So again, you're going to require the right combination of keycards. This one was 2 green keycards, and then once you access the pinwheel terminal, the door here is going to open, and then there will be a lot of bots that spawn. So you have to fight them off, and once you kill all of these bots, then you can go over here and activate this hack workstation console, and when you do, more bots are going to spawn. So fight them off, and then finally, when you kill all of the bots associated with this encounter, as you can see, the red door blocked off behind you will dissipate, and then you can go behind there and activate this elevator that will take you up to the ship. Now, very importantly, guys, when you do access this elevator, when that door goes down, you can actually see on our screen the UESC security breach. It says Pinwheel. This pops up for everyone, so it will let other teams know that you have access to Pinwheel and you are going up to this ship. So that is what most people are doing right now. There's another method, and this is the one I would recommend if you don't have a good kit, if you don't want to get in a big robot fight. So what you're going to want to do instead is spawn into the map and then absolutely book it for orientation. Specifically, get on the roof right here where you have the broken section of the ship. And then if you try to climb up this broken section, you can see there are doorways that are blocked by that red blockade thing, the same thing you saw at Pinwheel. Now, to get through this blockage, what you need to do is shoot 4 different objects, specifically these objects right here. And there's actually a little thing by the door that shows a little red icon for each one of these 4 broken objects, so you can tell how many you've shot and how many you need. Now, these objects are located all around this broken section of the ship. Sometimes they're off to the left side of the ship, sometimes they're actually in the broken section. You can see me shoot a lot of those in the background gameplay, and then sometimes they're off to the right and even sometimes a bit underneath, but they're generally right around this broken section of the ship. And after a few runs of finding out where they can, potentially spawn, it's not the same spawns every time, you'll get very used to them, and you can, get them destroyed pretty darn quickly. Now, once you do destroy them again, those red barriers go down, and then you have access to this ship. Now, this is super important. This is the method, and this is why I explained the whole keycard mechanics first, is because that is like the main thing that most other teams are doing. They have to do that whole rigmarole. They're fighting robots to get up the pinwheel. But if you can get to that rooftop right away, shoot those boxes right away, and get in the ship, as you can see from the background gameplay, this ship is chocked full of juicy loot. There's multiple weapons lockers with like blue and sometimes purple weapons. You're also going to have a ton of these random carts that have, blue and even purple mods, implants for your character. You have grenades, you have stuff that has ammo. Like, you are able to get kitted extremely fast in this ship. And then the way the ship is designed gives you another massive advantage. Why is that? Well, if you go in through that broken area of the ship, it's like a long ship, right? So there's only really one way to go, in one direction to the other end of the ship, right? And so that means if another team is contesting you on this ship, there's only 2 other ways they can possibly go. They can either, go the same way you went through that broken area, in which case they're coming the same direction. If you hear them, you can ambush them. The direction they're coming. It's a big rectangle. You're not going to get surprised. They're coming your direction, and you can even flee on the other end of the ship. Or they're coming up the pinwheel access through the elevators, right? But if they do, like I said earlier, it alerts you. There's literally something that pops up on your screen and tells you people are coming up that way. And so again, if you can actually get there first, get on the ship first, you have a lot of time of uncontested looting. And again, you're able to turn sponsored kits into high tier loot extremely fast. And then if you do encounter another team, you're at a much better situation, with all the stuff you've been getting out of the weapon lockers and so on than you were previously. Now, on this ship, there is going to be, as you can see right here, those terminals that require key cards. Specifically, this one always is 1 yellow and 2 orange. So if you are able to look around a bit before you get on the ship, you can maybe open this up. In here is going to be a strong box with some pretty high tier stuff. And there's also a special security door right here. So as you can see, there's 2 different terminals that are locked. So you have to find 2 different screens to access. So the first one is going to be when you initially enter the ship from that broken section, you're going to pretty soon come across this room right here, and specifically this is the one you need to activate. Now, the other one is located at the very back of the ship. So if you keep going, the same direction through the ship, you will eventually get to this area here, and here we have the second object you need to activate. That will again let you go back to kind of the middle of the ship, open up that door. There's going to be a bunch of robots in there, and then again, more loot containers and more high quality stuff in there. But again, don't do that right away, because there's a lot of bots that will require you to get pretty kitted up first. The good thing about this ship is that, especially in that first section after you get in the broken area, it's pretty uncontested. Aside from some turrets that shoot you, you have free reign to just loot your heart out with, again, multiple weapons lockers, etc. Now, to get off the ship, at that far section where that second activatable object is, as you guys can see right here, there's actually another thing you can activate right here to lower down this section, to drop this kind of makeshift elevator down, and so your team can ride that down and get back on the bottom area of the map and hopefully get the extraction. And so there you have it, guys. Like, that is the method. Go in with a sponsored kit. If you can be the first team on that roof, you know, in that ship through that broken section, right, when everyone else is trying to do the pinwheels and activate all these key cards, man, you have uncontested looting of so much stuff. Get kitted and hopefully get out with some juicy stuff. My team's gotten multiple like purple shields and stuff like that from doing this. So going in with sponsored kits and coming out with a purple shield, man, that feels good. Guys, that is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more marathon content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.